Hey, Marty here from freshOps. So today I wanted to talk to you about a book that's kind of made me quite patient with growing my business, and that's a book called Great by Choice by Jim Collins. And that particular book talks about three particular items that all great leaders have and great businesses have. And a lot of that has come from 9 years worth of research that Jim Collins did across a range of different companies to see what was the things that differentiated the good businesses from the great businesses. And those three outcomes were that great companies had incredible discipline to start with. They also only innovated if there was evidence to support it, and they never relied on luck to take care of things, or you know, they really wanted to maximize working hard in their business. But Jim actually uses one of the stories that he uses is about two famous explorers, both trying to get to the South Pole in 1910. One particular group, they decided they were going to march 20 miles every day, regardless on you know, whether the weather was good, whether they were feeling bad, doesn't matter what the situation was, where the other group would do large sprints when the weather was great, and then when the weather got hard, they'd bunker down and they wouldn't have the energy or the food stocks, and they had all sorts of issues. But the party that won actually got all the way to the South Pole, and it was because they just consistently showed up and did a measurable amount of work each and every day to get to that goal. So that's where they talk about that incredible discipline, just to kind of go, you know what, not only do we have the discipline to go when we don't want to, but we have the discipline to also stop when we don't need to go that far. The other thing is you know, innovate and not only when it's required. You know, Apple is very good at that. Google is very good at that. They'll release products, you know, particularly Apple, they released the iPod first, and then they released it only to Mac users. Then they produced iTunes and released that to Mac users. And it was only once the Mac users said this is great that then they decided to launch it to everyone, and then that eventually evolved into other tools. But I'm sure at some point it was all in Steve Jobs' head on what he wanted to do, but he did it in small steps to test the market. And thirdly, never relying on luck. So a lot of the great leaders that they met in the book or discussed in the book said that, you know, they did something similar to what investors do when they look at return on investment, but they deal with it about return on luck. So they're always getting their business in a position where it can take advantage of an opportunity when it arises. They don't know what those opportunities are. Some people call it luck, but the great ones were actually primed to launch on those opportunities when they were ready to go. So they could move quickly and they could make opportunities of that. Now, if you're a book reader, go check it out on Amazon. I'll put the links in of that book in the notes down below. If you prefer to just listen to something like I do, I love to listen rather than read a book, then you can also get it on Audible, and I'll put a link into the Audible store as well. But hopefully you enjoy it, check it out. It'll make interesting reading, and hopefully it really you know, might change your thought on how quickly you need to grow your business to make it great.